TCR. We're back here for Golden Class for round 9 here in Germany. Willkommen auf Deutschland. And with you guys in the booth tonight again is BLIN-MACHINE. Super excited to be here because tonight with me in the booth I've got somebody very, very special. I know everybody's going to enjoy this one. Mr. Sensation is back. Say hello to everyone.
Hello, hello.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna have some exciting battles hopefully here today, as we've had all throughout the season. Have you been following the season much?
Yes, I have. I've actually been following it, the season since the first race. I've been seeing all 3 classes, and I actually like what I see. It's pretty good.
Well, that's good to hear, man. Yeah, it's been very, very exciting so far. We've had some really exciting races and many, many battles on track. We've had one person really sort of dominating the league, at least in this class so far, and that's Failed UX. But there's definitely a chance now in the second half of the season for everybody else to bounce back. Looking at the track right now, we've got some interesting choices of tires. I see some people like Failed and Latobe at the top there on medium tires, and then Flip-Flop Fish, Ricardo, M9H, Coleman, all on hard tires. Definitely much different to what we ran in Silver Class last night. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think is going to be the best strategy here?
Well, I always like to go with the fact of the weather is always the #1 issue. Because if it does rain in that stadium section, they may act like they Lewis Hamilton and say, sorry guys, I failed. You know, you want them, you know, because you're going to fly in that section and you're going to go off and you're going to look like Lewis Hamilton. You know, you don't want to do that. The strategy, I noticed also, actually, because I know you raced last night, the back end I've noticed has been loosey-goosey. Now I know, I think the rear tires pretty much eats up this track, right? Yeah,
I mean, it's a little bit different here. I was really not expecting to have any sort of pace on the hard tires in the second stint.
Right.
And as you said, yeah, the mediums just completely burn out here really, really quickly. I think, you know, on lap 14, or no, I actually ended up hitting on lap 17, but that's because we had a safety car for a couple of laps. But honestly, I was pushing it. I was starting to lose about half a second to about 0.8 of a second on every lap there. So, yeah, you want to get off your mediums, I guess, after about maybe 15 laps or so, ultimately. Okay. But at the same time, going a bunch of free space to just run around and keep your pace.
Okay, I see that.
So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of different choices here. I almost went for a completely different strategy yesterday. I almost decided to go for a soft, medium to soft again. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't elect to go for that, but that's another possible strategy that people could go for. It's all up for grabs, I mean, at this point. I'm going to actually follow M9H. Is going to go around for a hot lap right now. He's just starting out here, crossing the line, going into the first corner. This is a really hard one because you got to make sure that you cut it a little bit, but then you got to don't cut it not too much because then you'll get invalidated right away. He's getting this right-hander really nicely here, coming onto this little left-hander and coming onto the huge isn't straight, so to speak, with the DRS zone in it. So that's going to be a very good area at the end of the straight here in the hard braking zone for people to overtake, dive up the inside, but you can also overshoot this corner really, really easily. And then getting a pretty good exit out of here. M9 Racing right now. He's getting a pretty good lap, but I don't think he's going to be challenging for the top positions. I haven't seen too many sectors being lit up here. Coming into the next right-hander here, it's really hard to keep the back from stepping out here. Does get a little bit of a tail whip. Does get a second purple sector, so he's definitely putting in some pressure now, putting the foot on the gas. Coming into the last little sector here now, just a couple more corners to go. You got to get this corner really nicely and smoothly, and then get back on the power. Coming on back to the straight for the start finish, opening the DRS, and he goes third. It's not a bad lap.
Not bad. Yep, not bad at all.
And now we've got Flying Jippo as the first person I see on track right now in the top 10, at least coming out onto the soft tire. He's on his outlap. He does sit in 5th currently on his medium as well, so not too bad at all.
Oh, secret. 1:12.3 at the fastest lap as of right now.
Wow, that was a very quick one. And also still on the medium tires, we've got Flip Flop Fish 2nd, not far behind him on hards. That's really impressive. And Jones also on hards, but he put 3 laps on those hards. Flip Flop Fish actually put 5 laps on his hards, so
that might hurt him near the end.
Yeah,
if he has to go to the hards. Yeah,
if he ends up going for that set, or if he ends up starting on that set, it's gonna have a little bit of wear on it to start with.
Yep.
Alright, so watching the rest of the field right now, Flying Jippo is starting out his fast lap. Oh, and he goes super wide and gets it validated right away on the exit of corner 1. So he's going to have to reset all of his ERS and fuel and go for another run, hopefully. Or maybe he's going to pit and put on another set. He's not happy about that as he comes out weaving onto the DRS straight. Definitely not happy about that one. Let's see who else we've got here. Latope dropped down to 7th right now. He's on a brand new set of mediums out on his outlap, so he's going to be one to watch out. Bam Bam currently kind of down. He's only done a 115.8. He's currently out on another outlap on a medium brand new set of tires, so he's going to be one to watch. Who is your main sort of bet for taking the lead in this one or taking the win? Who do you think is going to be up top there?
Boy, you know who I like? I got to go with my man Frost Hacker. I got to go with Frost.
And why is that?
I like Frost in this one. He's sneaky. He's sneaky speed. That's what I like about him. He's sneaky speed. You know, you think he's like, he stays out of trouble. He's gonna be up there at least in the top 5. But I got him for the win in this one.
All right, so that's going to be one person we're going to watch out for as Latope is about to start his hot lap on a brand new set of medium tires. Let's see how he does here. Main corner here coming up. The first corner gets a good cut, goes wide, and gets invalidated. So that's going to be the story of this track, unfortunately, for a lot of people. Very easy also in the race to get penalties on that corner especially, so that's gonna possibly play a factor in the race. We might see some safety cars. We had, I think, a couple of them last night in Silver Class. One full and one virtual, so we'll see what we're gonna have in Golden Class, how they behave.
Well, if it doesn't rain, I think it'll be okay. But if it does rain, oh yeah, you're gonna see a lot of penalties. You're gonna see a lot of penalties. Yeah, absolutely. I'm more curious about how people are gonna have their setup more or less than, if anything, because you know, like I said, the rear tires are gonna get torn up, and you know, it's kind of hard to get like a nice, good setup for this track. I wish it was kind of like the old Hockenheim, where it was just a straight forest and the cars were going about 225 miles per hour. But we ain't gonna have that, so you know. But it would be nice to see how people would drive on that track.
Yeah, I'm always interested to see if we can possibly run like a classic car series, because it would be interesting to see how all of these drivers can handle themselves in a classic car with no assist. Possibly some weather, maybe to spice things up as well. As I'm actually following Flip Flop Fish out on the lap here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like he's out on the same tires that he did the on, and he's still managing to set a purple sector.
Oh wow, he got a purple.
Yeah, so he's definitely one to watch out for. He's only coming into his second race in this league. He came in last week and definitely impressed everybody with his performance. So definitely one to watch here as he gets the last couple of corners really beautifully. Coming across the line, not quite enough. He does improve from his 112.7 to a 112.618. Seagree still holds the fastest lap right now with a 112.3. So gonna be interesting there. We've got Latope now bouncing up to a 112.4, so that bounces Flip Flop Fish down a position to third. Bam Bam, who you said you like as well, who's got good odds for this race, he's at a 112.7. So the top, it looks like the top 7 are within half a second.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to strategy, man. It's going to come down to strategy, and I want to see what these guys can do, because after this, it's you know, you play with the big boys. You know, it's like WCW, you know, where the big boys play when you go to the Platinum Era. So I want to see how these guys are going to do. I don't know if this Germany race is going to be a make or break for anybody moving forward as the season progresses. Still got plenty of race to go.
Absolutely. I mean, half a season pretty much to go. We've done 8 races so far. This is round 9.
I feel like 8 laps.
Yeah.
Right.
This is going to be round 9, and then we've got 8 more after that to go. So it's going to be very exciting to see how everybody does for the rest of the season. We just had Ricardo here go 112.5, knocking Flip Flop Fish down to 4th and Bam Bam down to 5. Failed UX, who is the current leader of the championship, and when I say current leader, this is probably the biggest lead I've seen in a championship, except for obviously Lewis Hamilton in, you know, Formula 1. But Failed UX is currently 63, I think, points ahead, or 73 points ahead of the next contender, which is currently Perry. So I mean, that's a huge difference. I'm not sure if anybody's going to be really able to close it back in on him, but definitely some people might have a chance. Frosthacker was going out for a lap there, but got invalidated on the first corner. He's only got 2 more minutes to go. Hopefully he's got enough. We've got currently Flying Jippo out on his first lap, on his out lap, sorry. He just going around the first corner right now. He's on a brand new set of medium tires. Let's see what he can do on this one. We've also got Dre Diggy and Flip Flop Fish, who decided to finally switch over to the mediums. Now, that's going to be interesting, because if he can do a 112.6 on a hard tire that has 6 laps of wear, what can he do on a medium brand new set?
It's a hard one to say. I don't know, man. That's a very good question. You got me stumped on that one. I don't know.
Well, I guess that's going to be an interesting one to watch. Oh, as Flying Jippo locks up and has a massive off, almost going into the gravel. He does have another minute to go in the session. He might have enough time to go for another run. I'm going to switch over to Flip Flop Fish, because I'm going to be interested to see what he can do on this brand new medium set of tires. As long as he doesn't get invalidated on the first corner, I think he's got a pretty good chance. He's currently dropping down to 5th as Jones sets a massively quick lap, only 0.003 of a second slower than Seagrease with a 112.391. As we got 40 seconds to go in this qualifying session, Flip Flop Fish now sets out on his lap. Beautiful run through the first corner, gets the perfect amount of cut, doesn't run wide on the exit. Coming into the next right-hander here, a little bit of a lockup on the inside right wheel, but then he gets a beautiful exit here, gonna catch a little bit of slipstream off of Jones, who's on this cooldown lap. Just make sure you don't crash into him. He's got his DRS open, coming into this massive braking zone, braking at about 75 meters, turning in, kissing the inside apex.
Good exit.
Beautiful apex and beautiful exit, getting a really good traction on his rear tires, not spinning out or anything. And right now, he is on a really beautiful lap here. I'm really going to be interested to see where this is going to put him. He's coming into the end of the second sector. He does light it up purple, so this is definitely going to be a very good lap. Coming into the left-hander now, getting a late apex there, and good exit again, cutting this little corner now. Only a couple more to go. Make sure you don't go wide out here, because you can get it all invalidated as well. Riding the curb, opening the DRS. and he goes first.
Wow.
1:11.912, almost 4/10 ahead of everybody else in the field. I think this is pretty much going to be it here, so I'm going to run through everybody in the field. We've got Flip Flop Fish at the last second of qualifying, setting up a beautiful lap, 1:11.9. We've got Zegrease in second, who was pretty much the leader of the qualifying session for most of the session, but then got dropped down. Jones setting a late lap. He's got 4 laps of wear on those medium tires, so that's going to definitely hinder down a little bit at the start. Lato behind him in 4th, Ricardo in 5th, Dre Diggy in 6th, Bam Bam in 7th. W, he's one guy that doesn't do amazing in qualifying, but definitely does great in the race, so definitely pay attention to him later on. Failed UX, our current championship leader in 9th place. He's on the soft tire. He's the only one out of the top 10 who decided to go for the soft. So that'll be interesting to see what he's going to play in the rest of the race for strategy. M9 Racing on mediums in 10th, Red Wing in 11th, Flying Jippo in 12th, Frost Hacker in 13th, RC7 in 14th, Erect in 15th, Hayden Rogers, I think he's a new driver here, so definitely welcome to the league. He is currently in 14th place, but our pole sitter, WSR Flip Flop Fish, one to watch here. He came in last race as his debut race and definitely impressed everybody, and now he's on pole position for this one. So just again to run through everybody: Flip Flop Fish, Zegrease, Jones, Latope, Ricky, Ricardo, Dre Diggy, Bam Bam, W, Failed UX, and M9 Racing are your top 10. We've got Red Wind Racing in 11th, Flying Jippo in 12th, Frost Hacker in 13th, 14th goes to RC7, Erect in 15th, Hayden Rogers in 16th, Coleman in 17th, Fuza, also a new driver here, didn't set a time, in 18th, Deathwish Tricky did not set a time in 19th, and STK Hurricane is going to be starting last on the grid.
Oh, a.k.a. Blaster Brennan.
All right, man. So predictions.
Flip Flop Fish was being a catfish. That's when he was catfishing everybody. Who do I have? Predictions as far as us or as far as the fans?
Predictions as far as us for your top 3, let's say.
Oh, top 3. Okay. Well, I said my main man, Frost Hacker. I got him down. Flying Jippo, I would say, and probably Dre Diggy.
All right, that's an interesting one. So I'm very interested to see if Flip Flop Fish is going to be able to hold on to this one. So I'm going to say it's going to be Flip Flop. I think Failed UX is going to be in the top 3 for sure. He's one that I've noticed so far, you know, you can never count him out. He just comes up with strategies on the fly and plays situations to his advantage all the time. So right. I think he's definitely going to be up there. And then Dre. I think Dre is definitely, you know, in the last few races at least, he's been playing, again, like the situation to his advantage, always trying to get up top and avoiding incidents. I think on this track especially, there's a lot of incident-prone corners. So just keep your distance, keep your head level, keep your strategy, you know, on point, and keep it consistent. All right, so we're on our formation lap here. Other than that, what else is interesting about this track? I guess it's got a couple of DRS zones, which are definitely going to play a big part in this one, especially that isn't straight right after the first couple of corners. Definitely plays a lot of different situations there with battling and things like that. It's definitely a track where you can't really build out a big gap unless you've got bigger pace on everybody else. So I'm expecting a lot of people to stick together and form up some trains.
Oh yeah, it's going to be definitely some trains being formed. It's sunny, so the weather will not play a factor. So you know, it won't have any rain unless we get some late showers. But by the way it looks, I think it's going to be dry for the entire race.
All right, yeah, and I mean, usually in this league, we go for the clear weather settings unless we play dynamic in certain tracks. I think Germany is actually a dynamic track, but honestly, by the look of the sky right now, it doesn't really look like we're going to get anything here today.
Yeah, well, we're good to go.
All right, so we're lining up right now on the grid. Everybody's getting ready. Hopefully they've got their tires and brakes nice and warm before the start of this one. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what we're going to be having here in the race in terms of battles. And somebody like Failed UX, is he going to be able to bounce up from his current position starting in 9th? Is he going to be able to recover to a higher position as the championship leader? We've got 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we go racing here in Germany for Golden Class Round 9 of TCR Season 9. So far, it's a pretty clean first corner. We've got a couple of people going a little bit wide, and we've got people spinning off at the back. That's Hayden Rogers having a little bit of an incident, so he's dropping to the very back of the grid. Everybody else so far is pretty much all together. WSR Flip-Flop Fish has actually dropped to 2nd, so Zegri's got a beautiful start, and now WSR Flip-Flop is attacking back. We've got 4 wide going into corner here into the right-hander, and Latobe jumps everybody on the inside trying to get the corner, but WSR Flip-Flop Fish jumps back, and Latobe jumps into 2nd, Zegris in 3rd, Bam Bam in 4th, Jones in 5th, Ricardo moves up to 6th.
That's going wide.
Yeah, we've got Dre in 7th. Failed UX is just dropped another position back to 9th, and now back to 10th, back to 9th again. Lots of people battling at the back there. Definitely lots of stuff going on.
A lot of back and forth swaying. It's like, you know, somebody's going into the gravel. That's another thing I forgot to talk about, that gravel over there at the stadium section.
Yeah, definitely lots of gravel traps here as Jones now on an attack on Bam Bam, keeping really close to him. We've got Ricardo behind him, really close to everybody here. The top 7 people pretty much right now are forming up a little bit of a train. Flip-Flop Fish is trying to get away from Latope. He's almost a 2nd away, so if he can extend it to a 2nd by the start of the next race, as now we've got Ricardo going on the inside of Jones, not quite making it stick. He's gonna have to stick behind. He's going on the outside now into the isn't straight. He's going to try and take that position. I'm not sure he's gonna have enough speed, and now Jones got the inside to the next corner as well. Let's see if he can defend. Oh, we've got a big spin there and a big incident. That's Latobe going around, and I saw Zegris and Bam Bam making contact with him as well. So we've got Zegris missing a piece of his front wing. Bam Bam is missing most of his front wing. And then Ricardo moves up a position. We've got a safety car now on lap 2.
Yeah, and we got penalties on W. We got a 5-second penalty, and I think it's somebody else had got a penalty. And I want to say Bam Bam. I don't think it was Bam Bam. Somebody had got a penalty during that collision.
It might have been Zegris or Bam Bam. I definitely seen them make some contact. Now I'm going to be interested to see who's going to be pitting on this one. It is lap 2, which is exactly what we had in Silver Class. We do have the first taker. That's Bam Bam. Obviously, he's got damage, so he's going to take that. Zegris. Oh, no, sorry, that was Zegris, I think. No, that was Bam Bam. Yeah, Bam Bam, Dre Diggy, and W so far in the pits. So, now we've got another taker as well. That's Failed UX, yeah. Or RC7, sorry. RC7 now in the pits as well. W in the pits. Latope in the pits. Ricardo jumps to 3rd. M9 Racing jumps to 4th. Frosthacker jumps to 5th position. Let's see what was the position changes so far. So Frosthacker is a big winner on that one. He started 13th on the grid. He's jumped 8 positions. He's in a good position on his medium tires to take it a little bit further in the race. And then, yeah, attack.
There you go. That's the guy I said. That's my guy. That's my guy. I told you.
Yeah,
he stays
definitely.
Out of trouble. He's good to go.
Well, I mean, you definitely have a lot of experience in this league. If for those of you that are watching and don't know, I'm going to let you guys in on a little bit of a secret. Mr. Sensation is sort of the guy that makes things happen in the background for this league, and when it first started, he was one of the main founders for this league, so he's one of the big kahunas.
One of the big kahunas, yes. I usually like to give my my favorite time. I'm going to tell you a little funny moment since we got the safety car here. Seafreeze, who runs it, pretty much now. It's I guess he thought the inside joke was me being bored because nothing was going on during a race. And I made a comment about one driver that had a helmet that I actually liked. I always did the helmet thing. So now, you know, when we play the game, of course, you know, the helmets are kind of, you know, lackluster. They kind of, some have nice designs to it, but really, if people concentrate, they kind of make that helmet that look all, you know, default looking become like something that just came out, like it was part of the bundle. So give the credit actually to who was that? I think was it Hot Bread? No, was it Hot Bread? I think it was Hot Bread. One of the Canadians of the William boys. I think it was Hot Bread. He was the one who actually had like the Target helmet, and he was with the Williams team, so he had the colors match exactly like the car, and it stood out, and that's how I started with the helmet thing. And then after that, everybody else kind of started. I mean, they had their own design, but then I guess they kind of noticed I was getting pretty excited about, oh, this kind of looked cool, and then somebody else did something with their helmet, and that looked cool, and then yeah, now it's like, I don't know, now it's like a little trend here. So I noticed one of the guys who's in the Alfa Romero, I think it's yes, it's M9H Racing. I see. I like that. See, that's cool right there.
Oh yeah, the two double stripes at the front.
Yeah.
All right, and we've got safety car. Yep, coming in this lap. So yeah, that was a very interesting story. That's why you said at the starting of the stream, I already like his helmet.
Yeah.
I get it now. And you know, what sort of jokes are allowed in this quarantine? Inside jokes.
Oh shoot.
So that was a good inside joke.
Now I want to see if this guy Flip Flop is going to catfish these drivers and hold up the field and then get a good, you know, jump start here.
Yeah, he's off right now. He's full
Jones,
speed.
come on,
We've got a
Jones.
5-second penalty for Jones for a severe collision. I'm guessing that's for sticking a little bit too close to him at the restart. Zegri's already falling 0.6 of a second behind Flip Flop Fish, so he definitely got a really good restart as Ricky Ricardo goes a little bit wide at the exit of turn 1. Definitely got to watch out with going wide there because you don't want to get any penalties in this one. They could decide your finishing position by quite a bit here as Coleman makes a huge attack right now on Jones. Let's see how close they are. They're very close. They're side by side, almost touching on the rear tires there. Coleman even goes a little bit on the curb to try and avoid an incident. We've got STK Hurricane had a little bit of a moment spinning back there, so that's going to be unfortunate for him. He's going to have to try and catch up to everybody as we got a huge pile up at the back there. I'm not sure if people were making contact, but I seen people really close together as we've got now Dre Diggy moving up the field around Red Wing and Fusa all in one move as we got a spin out there at the back from Lataupe. Lataupe has a little bit of a moment. Red Wing still battling with Fusa. Fusa now goes around the outside of him and makes that position last. And now Failed UX is attacking from behind as well. So moving up another position to 13th. I think he was one of the people that did pit during the safety car. So he's going to be in a pretty good position here. Let me just double check on that. Did he make any stops?
3 seconds on Ricardo. Time. Only 3 seconds.
No, actually, Failed UX never made a stop.
Okay.
But he's definitely going to be attacking here as we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1, and that's a... That's Flying Jippo. That's the McLaren of Flying Jippo. He spun around. I think he made contact with somebody going into the corner. Yeah, definitely, because there is Erect spun out as well.
Ah, come on.
So that's very unfortunate for him, but as I said, in this race there's a lot of corners where people can make contact and come very close together, so there's lots of battling. Dre Diggy now on the attack on Fusa, or sorry, on Deathwish Tricky, trying to catch up to him and overtake that position. Let's see if he can make that stick as they're only a couple of tenths behind each other.
Yeah.
So far, it's a very action-packed race. We've had safety car already. We've had people changing positions all the time as Dre now goes around the outside, making that position stick. Wow, that was a very ambitious move around the outside of that corner. I've never really seen anybody go around there. Flip-flop fish setting fastest lap as Deathwish Tricky has a moment going wide into the last quarter.
Yeah. There's a couple of penalties coming up, like you called it, secret. He got 3.
Yeah, definitely very easy to either cut the corner coming into corner 1 or going wide at the exit of the same corner. So I'm not surprised that people are now starting to get penalties. Coleman now has DRS on Jones, battling for 6th place, and he moves up ahead of him for now, but they're coming into the hard braking zone. Let's see what they're gonna do here. Jones actually has a little bit of damage. He's missing an end plate on his front wing, so that's not good for him. Up ahead of them, we've got Zegrees and Frosthacker and everybody just battling for positions here.
Yeah.
Jones, Frosthacker, and M9 Racing, they're all locked into a battle between them as well, so just craziness going on everywhere. Just trying to keep up with all the battles that we've got on track right now. I don't see really anybody that's more than like a second and a half away from anyone, except for Flip-Flop Fish, who's now setting the pace for this race, 4 seconds ahead of Ricardo.
Yeah, 4 seconds ahead, and this is only lap 8.
Anything can still happen. You're absolutely right on that one. We've got now M9 Racing trying to run away from Frosthacker and Zegrees behind them, so that's a nice little train that they're going to be able to keep up with. A 5-second penalty for somebody there. Who was that?
That was, oh shoot, I think it was Coleman actually that got that 5-second.
Oh,
and then
no.
I just saw Secret, he just tapped Frosthacker in the back there. Hopefully
Yeah,
he didn't lose an end plate. I think
he does.
did.
Yeah, he's missing an end plate there, so that's going to be unfortunate for him. But around this track, you know, you could get away with a tiny little bit of damage. So if that's just like a yellow, he might be okay.
No, I think he has. I think it's off completely. I think it is.
Yeah, definitely. So
yeah, it's off.
he's gonna try and pull it out for as long as he can, and then gonna have to lose a little bit of time on his pit stop, or he might just sacrifice it and just try to go until the end of the race here with a little bit of damage. I've seen people do that before, and if you're good enough, if you've got the pace, you can definitely keep up.
Yeah, some people can handle that understeer off that damaged wing, and others it just their race is completely over. They're just done. They can't handle the car like that. So everybody's different.
And I mean,
three-way battle going on right here.
Yeah, Jones goes ahead of Zegrees. Now Dre is going to go on the inside of him as well. They move up to 5th and 6th respectively. Red Wing gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So another penalty coming down the field here. But what I was going to say there, I mean, I've seen about 6 or 7 people. Flying Jippo now gets a 3-second penalty as well. I've seen about 5 or 6 people with damage. So that might sort of come into play. Some people might decide to pit and change, some might not.
Frosthacker just moved up to 3rd place.
Yeah, he did, as Dre tried to move up on Jones, but Jones is done the switchback on him. They're still side by side going into the next corner here. Jones is going to try and go. No, he actually sticks behind him. He thinks twice about that. He's already got enough damage on his front wing, so he's not going to risk it.
Yeah, please don't.
And M9 Racing now in 4th position. Really good position for him.
Coleman is dropping. He's in the 10th.
Absolutely. Failed UX still in 9th as well. Trying closing in really fast on Deathwish Tricky. But he really needs to close in more positions if he wants to get to the podium here today. He's pretty much on the same strategy as everybody else in the field. So not much to play there. Definitely gonna have to put the pedal to the metal and start moving up here.
Oh yeah.
And now actually he is going for a move around the outside of Deathwish Tricky. He does make it stick. Beautiful move. He's gonna have DRS on Failed ahead of him as well. I mean, sorry, on Zegrees ahead of him as well. So pretty good position. He's flying on the straight. goes down the inside now of Z-Grease, moving up into 7th. Let's see if he can make that stick. Gets a really good traction on the exit, and he does make that stick, as now we've got Deathwish Tricky trying to put an attack on Z-Grease, but not going to be close enough. M9 Racing going for a huge dive on Dre, making a little bit of contact, pushing Dre wide. Coleman gets another 3-second penalty. Dre goes really wide on the exit of that corner now, trying to stick around with M9 Racing. He's not happy about that move. I can definitely see that from his driving style.
Yeah. Oh man, this is intense.
Yeah, it's just battles everywhere. Everybody's trying to move up positions. Nobody's being patient. Everybody's putting their foot down and trying to move up as quickly as possible. Flying Jippo has left the session. Oh no, I think he might have a little bit of a problem with connection. Dre Diggy gets a 3-second penalty going through the first corner. So again, more penalties for everybody in the field here today. As we said at the starting of the stream, this track is known for positions being decided at the end of the race with penalties rather than with actual moves on the track. But speaking of moves, M9 Racing trying to move up on Frosthacker down the inside into the hairpin. He makes a pretty good move there, makes it stick, and behind them, Dre moves up a position on Frosthacker as well. So Frosthacker loses 2 positions in 1 corner. Dre is not waiting for anybody. He's woken up after that move that M9 put on him on the other corner with a big dive bomb. So he's on an attack now. The next big battle that I'm seeing right now is Coleman catching up to Failed. Coleman doesn't have any damage. Failed doesn't seem to have any damage either. So pretty much just outpace duel here.
Definitely. And I'm trying to see these tires here and see how long people have been on these tires. It's been
so as far as we've got a yellow flag in sector 3. That seems to be
is that Red Wing?
I think, yeah, that is Red Wing having... No, that wasn't Red Wing. I think that was Hayden having a moment. As, oh my god, we've got RC7 getting a 3-second penalty. Dre Diggy moves up on Frosthacker as Frosthacker goes really deep, coming out of that corner. So now we've got Dre Diggy up into 3rd with Frosthacker down to 4th. Oh my goodness, just position changes left, right, and center all over the place. Frosthacker locks up massively into the hairpin. I think his tires are starting to fade out now as they're coming into lap 12. Out of the top 9, we have 2 people that have pitted, Dre and W. Other than everybody else in the top 10 is still running on the original tire they started on. So that's going to be one to watch towards the end. Failed UX and make a move on Jones as he goes really wide coming out of that corner in the middle sector. So they're locked into a very close battle here as well. They're the closest ones in the top 10 right now actually to each other. So everybody's starting to build out a little bit of a gap. I think it's because tire wear is starting to play a big factor in everybody's driving.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. I'm starting to see like my guy Frosthacker, he's locking up pretty hard there. A couple other people are locking up pretty hard, but you know, even a little piece
Failed UX has almost a spin through the first corner, and that lets Coleman get ahead of him now.
You get a little bit of that dirt patch. I noticed that's happening to them, and I noticed a lot of guys start to lose the back end.
Yeah, it's what you do to sort of compromise for not being able to cut the first corner too much. As Failed now moves back into position 6 ahead of Coleman. But yeah, when you try to compromise into corner 1, you go a little bit wide, and then when you let off the gas, the rear just completely snaps on you. So you gotta get back on the throttle again, counter steer, catch it, and try to get back into it.
Yeah, somebody in your race last night actually had that. I think it was KGB was the one. It kind of really snapped on him, and he caught it really quickly, and he survived. Oh, somebody's about to make a move, and I think that's Fatal. Fatal just made a move on Jones. Yeah,
Failed and Jones bumping wheels a little bit, and that lets Coleman get in on him as Jones actually goes into the pits now. So Coleman moves up into 6th. Failed UX is going to move up into 5th position. So as I was saying before with Failed UX, you know, the commentator's curse, I guess this is the opposite. I told him he needs to put his foot down and start moving up positions. And he moved up from 9th to 5th now, and he is closing in the gap on Frosthacker in front of him by quite a bit now. So definitely going to be very interesting to see. I don't know how he does it, but he just manages to, you know, just move up the field throughout the race. There's some drivers that just don't do amazing in qualifying, but then they just figure things out in the race and keep consistent, I guess, not make any small mistakes. And
yeah, W was actually like that, because I was about to just mention him, but he just moved down a couple of spots.
Yeah, and Coleman is now trying to fight with failed UX here. I mean, those two have been switching positions all the time.
They've been having a wheel-to-wheel action. Switching places back and forth.
Oh, wow. Who was that? The Bam Bam going really wide behind them. W closing in now on Deathwish, and Deathwish is not too far away from Coleman as well, so he might be able to bounce back here. He's definitely been one person again in the race to do much better than he does in qualifying, so I'm very excited to see how this turns out, as now we've got Coleman trying to make a move on Failed, thinks twice about it into the first corner. They both go a little bit wide, but Failed is the one that gets a 3-second penalty through that one. So another penalty here. I mean, we've got plenty of penalties here tonight. We're going to have to, at some point towards the end of the race, or maybe if we get another safety car, we're going to have to run through those penalties and see exactly who's in contention of losing places or moving up places. W now making another move on Deathwish. Be in front of them, Failed UX making a move on Coleman. Everybody's trying to battle with each other. Oh, touching a little bit there, W and Deathwish. They're super close. Now with tire wear, you got to be really careful being side-by-side battling, locking up into the next corner, cutting it a bunch. Oh my Jesus.
I see some repairs coming up. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's more repairs. Fusa.
There you go.
Fusa goes off. Is this going to bring out a safety car now? Let's see. Yes, it does.
There you go. Repair time. There you go.
All right, let's see the pitting party here. We've got Ricardo first in the pits. We've got Coleman into the pits. Failed into the pits. Frosthacker, Deathwish.
Yes, in the pits, yeah.
Who else is going to take it? W advances, so he's pretty much going to be the leader here, or one of the leaders, together with Flip Flop, Dre Diggy, and then who else is going to be moving up? Latope is going to move up into 5th. Into, yep, 5th position now. Wow, this is going to be very, very interesting. STK, RC7, Bam Bam, Hayden Rogers, all of them pit right now. What tire would you put on right now if it was up to you?
I would go with the hard. I would definitely go with the hard.
And you think it's going to have the pace to, like, battle and sort of have the speed?
It would have the pace. I don't know about the battle part, but I would try to play it. Me personally, I would try to play it safe off the person's penalties. I would just be going with the penalties and just play it by ear. Wait for those mistakes, because there's going to be a lot of them. And I think that's what's going to make the difference for this particular race. Like you said earlier, those penalties are going to play a factor. We already got Flip Flop leading the way. I don't know. He's
in the pits. He's in the pits now.
Okay.
But he's got a massive gap behind him, so he might be able to keep, I'm thinking, 2nd? He's coming out now, out of the pits. No, he's definitely gonna... Oh, yeah, Dre Diggy goes into the pits too, so he keeps 1st. This is incredible. I've never seen somebody halfway through the race.
I'm telling you, his name is not Flip Flop, it's Catfish. That's his name.
Well, he's definitely no bottom feeder, I'll tell you that much, so I would call him a big salmon or a shark.
Bottom feeder, I don't even want to go there, because that sounds...
Well, I mean, if you're saying catfish, you know... Oh my god, Dre Diggy having a moment with Ricardo as he came out of the pits. They were literally battling for positions coming out of the pits, and they touched, and Dre went for half a spin. So that's something that might be reviewed later on, because... That's something that, yeah, I don't know who that was down to, really.
Yeah, that's definitely got to get reviewed. Somebody's ghosting. Who's flying chip on this, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't come back.
Wow, so out of everybody in the field right now, W is the only one who decided not to pit. He's currently running on a hard tire.
Laps.
On 14 laps. So that means he pitted on lap 3. So I'm guessing that you probably started on some mediums and maybe had some damage or something. But he's in a great position right now, although I'm not really sure if he can make those hards last for 31 laps in total.
No, I think his teammates in a better... Oh, he saw that spin? Did you see it?
Who was
saw that spin on W. He had a little slight slide. That was a little slight slide there. That's already a warning sign.
Yeah, and we had somebody get a 5-second. I think it was Ricardo getting a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits, which is definitely interesting under safety car.
Speaking of Ricardo, Ricky Ricardo, he's going to have I think he's in a better position than his actual teammate.
Yeah, I mean, he's got fresher tires, that's for sure, so he's going to be able to get the pace out of them. One thing I've noticed about hard tires on this game, especially after the latest couple of updates, they sort of come alive after about 10 or 12 laps. So the more laps you do on them, the more you find pace in them, but then there's like one point where they just completely drop off. So it's going to be very interesting.
Does that depend on the track?
Also, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think Germany is one track where hard tires actually work, whereas like if you were to put them on at, I don't know, like Austria, yeah, you're gonna be completely lost there. Like
I was gonna say Silverstone.
Yeah, on Silverstone, I've seen people go on hards, and you know, if you have to pit early, you can make that work. But I think there's certain tracks where they just require like outright pace from start to finish. And you don't want to be on hard tires there because just understeering into corners is not fun. You don't get as much, you know...
safety car in this lap.
Yeah, you don't get as much pace on the straights, and we've got safety car coming in, so it's going to be very interesting now with the whole field shuffled up.
Let's see if he can do it again. He is definitely holding up. Yeah, he's pulling that Lewis Hamilton. He's holding him up.
Oh, yeah. Let us know who you guys think is gonna take this one in the comments. Who you think is gonna be in the top 3, or who you think is gonna win this one? What you think is gonna happen for the rest of the race? We're gonna get started here again. Flip Flop Fish gets a pretty good restart. W sticks really close to him. 5-second penalty for RC7 for a severe collision under the restart, so not a very good one for him there. Ricardo now in 3rd, running pretty close to everybody as well. We've got, I think that was Frosthacker trying to make a move. Goes really wide. Dre Diggy gets another 3-second penalty. I think that's a 3rd for him.
Yes.
So many penalties for everybody all around. Failed UX is now in 5th position, very close to Dre Diggy as well, who didn't get a very good exit out of that 2nd corner. So he's going to be closing in on him now.
Oh, we got a slide out. Oh, we got a slide out. That's Jones. He's done.
He retires from the session. I think he made contact with somebody there at the back.
Red Wing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, definitely more battles and more incidents happening just after the safety car. We don't have another safety car for now. We just have a Sector 1 and 2 yellow flag. But I mean, after all these updates that came onto this game, we could definitely have another safety car. Coleman gets another 3-second penalty. Penalties for everybody, everywhere. Now we've got yellow flag all over the place.
Frosthacker went down big time. He crashed into something. My guy, what happened?
Oh no, that's unfortunate for him. Dre Diggy got a great run out of the last couple of corners, so he's going to be trying to close in on Ricardo. Flip Flop Fish is getting away with this one again. Dre goes super wide on the exit of the 1st corner again, so that's where he keeps on getting his warnings and penalties from. M9H Racing gets a 3-second penalty as well, but the closest people right now are going to be W and Ricardo in front of Dre Diggy here. They're all trying to close in on each other. W in a great position with his teammate, with the Force. I mean, sorry, I was going to call it a Force India. This
might as well. I mean, you could. It still is the same car. I mean, yeah,
the Racing Point.
Racing Point, yes.
But yeah, they're in a pretty good position here in this race. It's going to be very interesting to see how W plays this one out. If he's going to end up pitting towards the end of the race, I'm going to be very interested to see what he decides to do. And watching other people on track here right now, we've got everybody sticking pretty close together. RC7 currently running in 9th, trying to close in on Latope. Zegre's behind them in 10th. He was running in 1st at one point in this race, but not having a pretty good time right now. He's on a hard tire though, so he's going to definitely take that one to the end. He's done a little bit more on that hard tire than everybody else. So he didn't pit on the safety car that we had here recently. Latope pitted, but he went on the mediums. So I think he's going to be trying to take this one to the end, as well as Bam Bam, which is going to be very interesting to see if they can make that one last. They're definitely going to be able to gain some positions, but they need to gain them right now and get some clean air.
Well, you got the DRS now is available, so...
Yeah, and Bam Bam is going on a move on Death Wish. Ricardo is moving up into second position on W. W gets a really bad exit out of that corner, and that lets Dre Diggy close in on him as well. They were super close there at one point. Death Wish manages to keep 7th, but he's under attack. Oh, Dre gets a big lockup, almost smashing into the back of W. W not getting good runs through the corners, so I think he's already feeling a little bit of wear in his tires, or just not being able to keep up on the pace on the fresh tires of everybody else.
18 laps on them bad boys.
Oh, and Dre takes a couple of little touches on the back of W. He's pretty much pushing him through the corners. This is all letting Ricardo get away, and it's all letting Flip Flop Fish get away. He's already got a 3.5 second gap in front of Ricardo, so sheesh.
Oh boy. Why didn't you pit? Why didn't you pit when the safety car was out?
Absolutely. Dre Diggy now trying to make a move on W, going inside, outside, trying to make it any way he can make it.
Oh, he's gonna get him right here. He's gonna get him on the DRS.
Yeah, but he's got a little bit of a worse exit now. He does have the DRS. W does not have the DRS on his teammate in front. This is definitely gonna be the run that Dre needs to maximize his opportunities on right now. And now we've got also failed UX behind them, and he smashes into the back of Dre, trying to make that dive bomb work. That did not work out for him. He does not have any damage, doesn't look like it, so he got pretty lucky there.
Very, very much so.
Dre keeps on locking up into corners though everywhere, so having a little bit of trouble on his fresh hard tires. As I said, hard tires are definitely hard to make work, no pun intended.
I got you. Oh man, this is I don't want to jinx him, but W, you gotta find a way to get off them tires, man.
Yeah, he's dropped all the way down to 4th already. He was just in 2nd position a couple of laps right as we restarted on the safety car. Bam Bam and failed. Oh, Bam Bam goes super wide.
Yeah.
Does not manage to make that stick. Latope gets another 3-second penalty. We did not have this many penalties yesterday in Silver Class. This is definitely many, many more. So I know these guys are just risking everything they can to try and get ahead. Just sort of, I don't know, I guess they're just letting it rip and seeing what's going to stick at the end.
Yeah, but I mean, with a track like this, and what you just said was the key points. I mean, you gotta kind of know when to, you know, it's like the late Kenny Rogers would say, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, you know. You at the card table, man. You know, this guy at Flip Flop right now, he's the dealer, and he's dealing with 4 seconds. So everybody else is trying to get close to him, but with these 3 seconds and 5 seconds, it's adding up.
And Dre just got another one. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, and that seems to be Coleman, who had a moment spinning out there. I think he crashed, might have damage, so not good for him. Many spin outs here, many incidents. Definitely,
Coleman. Oh.
Definitely close calls everywhere. So let's see how this is all going to close out. We're now on lap 24 of 34, so we've got 10 more laps to go in this one. I almost don't want this one to end. Honestly, it's been so much fun and so much action to watch all throughout the stream and all throughout the race. We've been trying to keep up with everything, but honestly, there's just so much going on, except for Flip Flop Fish, who's pretty much been in control of this race this whole time. Other than that, everybody's been changing positions, left, right, and center, up and down, spinning out, breaking front wings off, and Yeah, RC7 now, I mean, Latope making a move on RC7. They're going side by side. RC7 is going to try and defend into the next corner. They're going really deep, but Latope makes it stick around the outside, keeping it really nice and smooth, getting a good exit. So he moves up into 7th now, and RC7 down into 8th. Deathwish Tricky seems to have some good pace right now, so he's closing in on the both of them. He's going to try and present a danger later on. In the meantime, we've also got Dre, who keeps on getting these 3-second penalties, but he is still closing in on Ricardo. He does have DRS on him. We've got W behind him with DRS, Failed behind them with DRS, Bam Bam with DRS. They're all running these DRS trains over here. W gets another 3-second penalty as well. RC7 trying to stick behind Latope. STK Hurricane, 3-second penalty for you as well, my friend.
Ricardo went down.
Oh no, Ricardo had a spin. And he's down to 6th.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really unfortunate there. RC7 trying to close in on Latope. Is he going to go for a dive bomb?
Dre.
No,
Dre.
He thinks about it. Dre moving up to 2nd position around W.
Oh, boy.
Wow, so both of the Racing Points having a little bit of trouble here. Not sure what this is down to.
I don't know, man, but if it comes down to the end of this race, I think W is going to be up in 12th position.
Yeah, and this is all letting the championship leader move up positions here. He's now into 4th and quickly closing in on W now. So I'm not sure how this guy does it. I mean, every single race that I see him in, he starts down the field and then he just moves up and up and up.
Yeah. Man, Catfish got a 6-second lead here.
Wow.
Flip-flop.
Yeah, RC7, another 3-second penalty for you, my friend. Oh my goodness. I think we're literally gonna have to count up all these penalties, and because there's been a lot of them. I think some people might be up to about 9 or 12 seconds by now.
Hey, you know what? You never know. You might have a guy like STK Hurricane here, Blaster Brennan, move up to probably 5th or 6th position.
Yeah, W makes another move back up into 2nd. So Dre moves back into 3rd. I mean, Dre, I think, is the one that I've seen his name the most in terms of penalties, as he's getting attacked by Failed UX. How many penalties do you need to get disqualified again? Was it like 5 or 6 of them?
Oh, we got a spin.
Oh,
we got a spin.
and
Ricky Ricardo.
Another one. Oh no.
I Love Lucy. Oh man.
I think he's really having some trouble keeping up on his tires.
Yeah, he actually had the wheel touch, so it was a little wheel banging. Just then he spun out there.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. I definitely hope he can recover a few more positions and get back into it. But Ricardo is down into 12th. So that was another one, unfortunate, that was running up in the front there. A lot of people that were running up in the front are now down in a bunch of positions, like Seagrease and M9A Tracing, Ricardo, Frosthacker.
Right now, he's gaining for the 8th spot on Charles Bronson.
Yeah, Dre Diggy goes for a huge move outside of W, or trying to, doesn't make it stick. Frosthacker gets another 3-second penalty, and now. And now we've got Failed UX trying to attack on them as well. He's trying to capitalize on them battling in front.
How is this guy in 2nd place?
Oh, as we have Dre having a half a spin. He had his back snap out, and that means Failed moves up into 3rd. He's on the podium now. And Bam Bam moves up. Oh, and Dre Diggy manages to defend against Bam Bam. Bam Bam trying to go around the outside.
It's going to be all bad. It's going to be a bad accident before this race is over. I know it.
I think we're going to have another safety car. Honestly, if I had to bet on it, I'd definitely go all in on that, because everybody is not letting an inch on any corners. We've got DRS trains all over the place, all over the field, and yeah, this is going to be very interesting. It's going to take all the way down till the end here.
Well, W, if there's a safety car, please change those tires, please.
Absolutely, but how many positions is he going to lose because of that? Ricardo gets a 3-second penalty. Now Failed is going to try and make a move on W, who does not have DRS. Failed does have DRS. Going on the outside. No, making a switch back onto the inside. Beautiful move. Gets the corner, but I think W is going to get the switch back on him. He's going to have the inside for the next corner. Are they going to touch? Almost. Still side by side. Now they touch.
Yeah.
Dre Diggy, another 3-second penalty.
Oh my god, this is crazy. This is crazy.
And Failed moves up into second, but he's got a 9-second gap to Flip Flopfish. That's Hayden. He's got a DNF now. And we have a virtual safety car.
There's a virtual safety car. Somebody just went off into the grass.
W going to the pits, man. Going to the... No! He's continuing on! No, come on, man. You could have saved so much time right now.
This guy, no. Well, it's a virtual safety, so I don't know if you really want to.
I mean, it would at least save him a little bit of time. You know what I mean? Like...
Maybe.
It's a smaller risk than going on until the end on 31 lap old hard tires and battling with the likes of Failed UX and Bam Bam.
He's doing something to keep those tires.
Yeah, and he's gonna try and go for a dive bomber. No, he thinks twice about it here into the hairpin with Failed UX, but he's closed in a lot of time. Oh, and he goes for a spin and he crashes. And that's the end of that for W.
Don't give it up. Don't give up. Come on now. You went this far, brother.
Oh my goodness.
Damn, but that wing. Now he really has to go into the pits. He got the wing. The wing is shot.
Absolutely. I mean, you see what I mean? If he would have gone in under that VSC, brand new tires, yes, you lose a few positions, but you would not be 9th right now.
Yeah, you're right.
With a broken front wing. So now he's going to have to pit, and now he's going to be way down the field. This is very unfortunate for him. I really feel for him as Dre Diggy has a little bit of a moment coming out of the last corner, and now RC7, who's moved up into 5th position after everything that's been going on in this race, he's going to be trying to attack on him. I think he started about 10th or 11th, so he's going to be trying to close in as much as possible.
He's going to the pits. He went to the pits. Okay.
Yeah, W absolutely has to go into the pits now, so he does. Oh my goodness. Oh, and he retires.
Yeah, he's done.
That's very unfortunate. Dre Diggy moving out of the way for RC, defending super hard on the inside, but RC still going to have that, so he moves up in 4th position now, but they make contact, and now we've got Latope moving around the outside of both of them into 4th. Dre Diggy drops into 5th, and RC into 6th.
Okay.
I even missed out on that. I don't even know how he did that. So
he was sneaky. He snuck in. He snuck in like a running back. He just saw the hole. He said, "There it is." First time.
We're coming up now to lap 30, or to the end of lap 30. Lap 31 now, 34. Only 3 more laps to go, and it's been so all over the place in this race. It's been so unpredictable.
Yeah. And you got Catfish with almost a 12-second lead.
Yeah, and we've got Dre Diggy catching up on Latope now, still fighting for the top 5 positions. Coleman gets another 3-second penalty. These penalties could still decide everything at the end of the race here, so we don't even know who's going to be able to keep what positions. We're going to have to wait until the very end here and wait until they cross the line and see what sort of gaps they've got. Now, Dre moving to the outside of Latope, to the inside of the next corner, and he makes and we've got a safety car. Frosthacker spins out and crashes, and we've got a safety car on lap 31 of 34.
It's going to end on a safety car.
No, what's going to happen actually is we're only going to have it for 2 laps. This is exactly what happened to us. A couple of, I think, no, not in silver class yesterday, but in another league that I raced in a couple of weeks ago, this is exactly what happened to us. Lap 31, so it will go back out, go back in on the end of lap 32, and then we're gonna have 2 laps pretty much to run around here. But I'm gonna be very interested to see who's gonna actually pit here.
Oh man,
because Bam Bam is on mediums with 15 laps, the same sort of strategy as the guys ahead who are on hards. And Dre is continuing on. Bam Bam's continuing on. Flip Flop, everybody's continuing on. Nobody is going to go into the pits. So everybody is just fighting for their position here because they think we're not going to have too much time to race under the safety car or after the safety car.
And there's a lot of penalties, so
there's lots.
Oh boy. Somebody, okay. This is crazy because I'm thinking. Hear me out here. I think if they stay close for 2 laps, for the last 2 laps, if you're telling me this,
yep.
My man, I Love Lucy, Ricky Ricardo, Flying Jippo, and Coleman, don't call me Derek Coleman, is going to be maybe close to the top 5.
Wow. Are you in the penalties right now? Are you taking a look at that?
No, I'm just going by off of what I'm seeing. I'm not looking at the penalties because I like to be surprised. And you called it safety car in this lap, and I think the back end, the last 3 guys are going to move up if they stay with each other for these last 2 laps, and it's going to happen.
Yeah,
but I got a funny feeling that back end is gonna jump up huge. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Oh my God! Erect 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits.
There it is.
What the hell did he do?
There it is. That's one movement. That's a huge gap movement right there.
Oh my goodness.
This is going to be madness.
And we're back to racing here. I didn't even see the message for safety car coming back in. So we're back to racing. Failed UX is super close to Flip Flop. Dre Diggy makes a move on Bam Bam and gets ahead of him. So he's now in 3rd position. Bam Bam drops down to 4th. So that's going to be very interesting to see there. But Dre, Diggy, and Failed are going to be trying to catch up onto Flip Flop Fish as much as possible, who I think is one of the only people in this race who does not have any penalties. So he's been running just an absolutely perfect race from start to finish. But this is not over yet.
No. And you got what? Don't die.
Oh, we've got Deathwish Tricky making a move at the back there for 9th position on M9H. Let's see if anybody else is close enough to make a position. Seagrease is making a position on SDK Hurricane. Oh, and at the back we've got another crash. That's Ricardo and M9 Racing.
Ricardo!
And Deathwish Tricky gets caught up in that as well. Ricardo is retired. That lets M9 Racing and Erect move up a couple of positions. M9 loses another position now to Deathwish. Oh my goodness, that was lots of touching, lots of contact there. M9 is out of it now too.
With the wall, holy guacamole!
Jesus Christ, they just can't let off of it. We're not going to be done until it's done. We're on to the last lap. What's going to happen in the last lap? Z-Grease makes a move on RC7 into the first corner. Makes it stick, but RC7 gets a really good exit. Coming out, Dre Diggy, this is his last chance. Coming onto this DRS zone right now to try and make a move on Failed UX and try to make something happen here. He's got many penalties though, so I don't think he's going to be able to keep that position here unless Bam Bam has many penalties as well. He does not get DRS obviously because we don't have a safety. We had a safety car, so we still don't have DRS after that. So Latope right now trying to fight for 5th position.
Jippo got disqualified.
Flying Jippo disqualified, failed to use required tire compound.
Tire compounds? What the hell
So
does that
he
mean?
never put on the right compound. He probably started and pitted onto the same tires and never made a second stop. Or maybe, yeah, something like that. We're going to have to check on that at the race director at the end of the lap here. But coming on to the end of lap 34 in just a few moments here, we're going to have Flip Flop Fish, who started in first, led for pretty much the whole time, had a huge gap throughout the whole race until the safety car. He wins for his very first win in this league on his 2nd race in the league. We've got Failed UX who gets 2nd place, Bam Bam gets 3rd, Latope gets 4th, Z-Grease gets 5th, Deathwish gets 6th, Dre Diggy 7th, STK 8th, RC7 gets 9th, Erect gets 10th, and Coleman is the last of our finishers. He's going to get 11th place, and that's going to be the last of our finishers. We had, what is it, 8 DNFs, 9 DNFs? Coleman taking his time to come across the line, crashes at the end. Come on, make it across, spins out.
10.
And he's across now.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
after all of that craziness, after two safety cars, a virtual safety car, or no, 3 safety cars, lots and lots of penalties for everybody, we had Flip-Flop Fish, Failed UX, and Bam Bam as our top 3 podium finishers. Oh my goodness, I am honestly out of air, out of breath, out of words.
This guy thinks he's Alan Frost holding a champagne bottle. Oh man.
This was the most amazing race I have seen so far in this league. I literally had to commentate on everything and make sure that we're catching everything on screen because there was battling everything. But just to run you guys through the rest, through the field here, we've got Flip-Flop, Failed UX, and Bam Bam as your top 3. Latobe gets P4, Z-Grease P5. Deathwish Tricky, one of the only 2 people on the finishers that had no penalties in this race. Dre Diggy, a total of 4 penalties, 12 seconds, gets 7th place. STK Hurricane in 8th at 3 penalties. RC7 at 3 penalties as well. He gets 9th place. E-Reg gets 10th, and Coleman gets 11th. He had 6 penalties in total, 18 seconds. He was the last one of our finishers. We had M9 Racing, Ricardo, Frosthacker, W, and quite a few more people not being able to finish the race in what was one of the most hectic races I've ever seen in any league race. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. We're gonna get the top 3 finishers into the party here. Mr. Sensation, go ahead and do that right now if you can.
Who's the 3?
We're gonna have Flip-Flop Fish, Failed UX, and Bam Bam as our top 3 finishers here. Oh my goodness. So
I think I have them. I'm not sure. Well, Flip-Flop Fish I know I don't have.
So yeah, you can add them actually through the game chat if you want, and then invite them to the party.
Oh, through the game chat? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, just to recap on everything that we had here today, guys. Wow. Everybody who's been watching the stream, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and please remember to subscribe to the channel so you guys can keep up with more of this crazy action. But tonight, again, it was very, very crazy race. We had 3 safety cars, we had tons and tons of penalties for everybody. We had change of position all over the field except for pretty much Flip-Flop Fish, who was leading the way and building a huge gap in front. Just to remind you guys again, Flip-Flop Fish is completely new to this class and this league. He came in last week in Austria and surprised everybody with what I'm pretty sure was also a podium finish. I think he got 2nd or 3rd in that one, and now coming into this race, getting his first win on his 2nd race in the league. Very, very impressive. He's almost like a Vettel coming into Toro Rosso back in the day. I think that's what...
You might have to do the game invite.
Alright, let's go ahead and do that right now. So, let's see who we've got here. So I'm not sure if I have Flip-Flop Fish. I might have to find him here, but... yeah, sorry guys, give us one quick moment where we're adding everybody in. We've got Failed UX. Alright, so we're just waiting to get our podium finishers into here. Sorry guys for the wait. There we go. Let's invite everybody else. I'm not sure if I have Bam Bam here either, so I'm gonna have to look for him. Alright, we've got Failed UX with us already, so since you're the only one that we've got with us at the moment, congratulations on your podium finish. How has it been? How was your race? Can you let us know about sort of how it went for you, and what was your main sort of factor to let you take this one?
So, first of all, congrats to Bam Bam. I guess Of course, man. For me, really, I started ninth. I picked the wrong tire selection at the beginning, so I only had one set of mediums. So I went on mediums, did one lap. I didn't want to go ahead and do another one, even though I started ninth. The race was pretty tough, had some pretty good overtakes. It was definitely exciting. The safety car saved my life. That safety car came out as soon as I was heading into the pits, so it couldn't have been perfect. It couldn't have been better timing, to be honest. Yeah, other than that, exciting, man. And then the last safety car really gave us the chance to fight for the lead with Flip Flop. I just didn't want to go for it. I had a 3-second time penalty, and I was asking Jeff if Flip Flop had something. He never told me anything, so I just assumed he didn't have a penalty. And I decided not to risk it, to be honest. I'd rather get a decent 18 points than 0. So, I mean, that's something that you guys have heard me say in the past. So I'd rather just play it safe, get those points.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on that second place. But I really want to ask you again, how do you keep on doing this, man? You keep on coming into the race, down the field, not really having great qualifying performances, but then you just managed to figure out these, strategy moves and moments throughout the race. Or is it your pace, or is it your setup? What do you think is the main sort of factor that keeps on playing into your hands so well?
So if you guys look at the timesheets, I'm never really the fastest guy, neither in qualifying or in the race. I don't have fastest laps. I don't have any of that kind of thing, but it's just consistency, to be honest. And sometimes it's just luck, man. You know, if that safety car wouldn't have come out when it did, I doubt I would have finished where I would have. Although I saw a lot of guys did DNF, so I don't know. things could have been different, but yeah, man, it's just sometimes luck, sometimes it's a little bit of strategy. It's both things.
All right, so I think the lesson to learn there for the rest of the competition in this class from Failed is that you guys need to stay consistent, stay level-headed, and just keep safe and keep out of trouble, and then you'll be near the top.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, anyone can win from pole. It's not that hard when you're leading the race. But if you start a little bit further back, it just has a little bit more racecraft to it, definitely more exciting. So yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. Congratulations on second. We're gonna move over now to WSR Flip Flop Fish. Congratulations on your win. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this your second race in this class and your first win?
Yeah, I finished second last race.
Congratulations again, man. So tell us a little bit about your race and a little bit about how are you managing to get away with these races so much and sort of build out this huge gap like you did today.
Well, it's just about getting in a rhythm, really. I mean, first lap I was not in a rhythm, and I nearly lost. I lost the lead actually, but I got it back from BMM. But it's just about getting into that rhythm. Once I got into that rhythm, I started building a gap. And then I stopped locking up, and that's basically all she wrote. Went away the race a couple times, a couple safety cars came out, got good restarts. Yeah, I won.
All right, Mr. Sensation, you've got any questions for the winner?
Yeah, actually, I do got a question. I always wanted to know, since you said you get into you like to get into a rhythm. With the safety car, did that bother you? Because some people hate the fact that, oh man, the safety car came out, now they're out of a rhythm. Did that disrupt you at all because you had that a few times in this race?
I mean, not really, because I was checking the penalties for the guys behind, and I knew they had penalties, but I still wanted to build the gap just in case those penalties were under the safety car and they could get them removed. Right. So, yeah, knowing that people had penalties helped out.
Oh man, well. I tell you what, even if you was last in this race, you would have probably ended up first because a lot of people had penalties left and right. And it was probably more or less just little foolish penalties that under the safety car, tapping somebody because they, everybody's bunched up and they feel okay, so now it's time to go. The car, safety car's already in, so. Why this car is not moving, and they got to remember that certain part that they got to cross before they can actually get the right way to go, and that plays a factor. Those little small penalties like that.
Absolutely. And Flip Flop Fish, I also wanted to ask, man, you had some incredible pace last week. You had some incredible pace here again today. How do you prepare, or do you practice for your races? Do you work out a setup for every single race, or do you just sort of go into it and see what happens?
I mean, sometimes I practice. Like today, I did about 30 minutes because I haven't really been playing the game. And I've setups for each track, so I really never have to like go out and find a setup. I already have one saved for each track, the wet and dry.
Oh, nice.
All right, perfect. So, yeah, congratulations on your first win in this league and in this class. I'm going to be very excited to see how you do for the rest of the season here and see if you can possibly be a contender for failed UX who's trying to run away with this league, who's been running away with it in the first half of the season. But we've still got some really exciting races to come in the rest of the season, so good luck for the rest of it. Congratulations again.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Congratulations.
And moving on to P3, the last one on the podium here today with an incredible recovery from the back, Mr. Bam Bam. Congratulations, and tell us a little bit about your race and how did you manage to handle all the situations and all the battling, all the incidents that were going on. Did you have any incidents yourself, or, you know, how did it go for you in the race overall?
Well, good night to you guys. First thing first, I want to give a shout out to my team, the boys and girls back at the factory for working so hard, getting our car on the podium, and a P5 there. Congratulations. And I do gotta apologize for that safety car on lap 1, and I think I made contact with my teammate, causing a collision. So both causing damage to both of our races. Yeah, I gotta apologize for that. And I see the recovery drive. It wasn't too bad. The safety car came out. I was able to put on the hard tires and I stretched that stand out until the second safety car, I think it was like at the end of the race. And I just put the mediums on from there, and yeah, it wasn't too bad. But other than that, I think that was pretty much one of the most enjoyable races I had all season. Quite action-packed with battles everywhere. Guys, it's pretty clean. And yeah, not much to complain, not much to add, but that I'm not really a big talker, so I'll just
yeah, well,
leave it as that.
Your best finish of the season so far, your first podium of the season so far as well. Does this give you a little bit more motivation to try and push a little bit further, or did you possibly learn something from today's race that sort of played into your hands and you're going to try and do that in the rest of them, or well, what do you think is going to happen here?
I mean, to be honest, without sounding cocky, I actually do think I have a lot of pace. I think I have more pace than the timesheets is actually saying, because we had a lot of bad luck this season, me and my teammate. And even though we had bad luck for this race, we were still able to turn it around and score decent points. But I do think I should be consistently top 5 from now on.
That's a bold statement.
If everything plays out in our favor, and we don't have any bad luck or whatever.
Okay, so we're gonna hold you to that. So thank you for putting that live on YouTube. It's gonna be great. We'll come back to it. You know, in a couple more weeks, we'll recheck on your results, and maybe we'll set up some sort of a challenge, like Lando, shave your head or something like that.
Okay, you can do that.
All right, well, congratulations on a great performance today. Great podium finish. Best result of the season for you so far, as I said. So definitely looking forward to see if you're going to live up to your promises the rest of the season here. But I want to say also a big thank you to everybody who's been watching the stream here tonight and everybody who's been following the streams for the league. We've got some really exciting races to come still in the rest of the season here. Just looking down the field, we've got Italy, Azerbaijan, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, USA, and we're going to close out the season in Mexico. I think that's going to be towards about June or so. So now also today we had the announcement that the new game is coming out in I think it was July or June, end of June, somewhere around there. So that's going to be very exciting. I can't wait to see how TCR is going to utilize the new game for the next season, season 10. It's going to be a celebratory season of TCR, I guess. Season 10, it's a big number. And also, please join us tomorrow for Platinum Class, round 9 of TCR Season 9. This is going to be back here again in Germany. I really don't even know what to expect for tomorrow if this is how things went today in Golden Class. Also, huge thank you to Mr. Sensation for joining us back again in TCR. Definitely very, very nice to have you back with us again, and hopefully we're going to see more of you throughout the rest of the season.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's this first way to come, nice way to come back for quite some time, and then seeing these guys put on a show tonight and last night as well. And I'm pretty sure tomorrow night is going to be even more interesting. So, I miss saying these little catchy nicknames and things like that. I already got Flip with the wind, but he was catfishing everybody. So that's your new name. You catfish, WSR catfish flip flop.
Yeah.
Take the flip flop out. You just catfish now. Bam Bam coming through. With failed. So it's gonna be nice seeing that, especially like you said with the new game, and then you get the 2 new tracks on there. So that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
All right.
Times for TCR.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for all of that. So definitely stick with us, guys. I want to throw out a big shout out to the league organizers for letting me commentate for another chance here. I'm really starting to enjoy this more and more. So hoping that this is going to become something that I can do regularly. So yeah, thanks everybody who's been watching. In the booth with you tonight again, we're BLIN-MACHINE and Mrs. Sensation. Thanks again for joining me tonight for in the booth here.
Yes, thank you. And you're doing a fantastic job in the booth, I must say.
Thank you very much. I'm really enjoying it. Have a great night, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time for round 9 back here in Germany for Platinum Class. Thanks again. Have yourself a great night. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.